What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. We are here tonight with a season finale analysis video, but ultimately kind of a season 5 part 2 recap. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on all the social medias, and let's get right into it. Before we even highlight anything about this episode, I think it's important to note that in February, we are getting the second season of 1923. Now, I've said before that was not my favorite of the two spinoffs. However, rewatching it, it's growing on me. So I kind of am getting a little bit more excited for season 2 to come out in February. But then we look at Yellowstone. Yellowstone's season finale tonight, in my opinion, and a lot of people will agree, is the series finale. We had the closure on a lot of different fronts that I really think signify that end of the series. Now, like I've always said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but we are going to talk about a few things that really, really stood out. I think the first thing that really stood out in this episode, but also this part of the season, is Casey. Now, when you look at Casey, he has always kind of been a person that is on the side a little bit. Casey wants to do his own thing. He gets drugged back into the ranch. But I really feel like in this episode and in this series, we see Casey take steps that he needs to for his own mindset. I think the one other part of this episode when characters are people on the ranch. The way the episode starts off, and you see a specific person ask Travis for a job down in Texas, it's really signifying that everybody is moving on. And so I really feel like that brought closure to the key figures that have been on Yellowstone for the 5 seasons, but also even really a big part of the last 2 seasons. Then we get to the main event of the evening, really right in the middle. You see Jamie preparing for his press conference. You see him really avoid the responsibility of his own actions. And I think that is a difficult thing for him to come to grips with because of his personality. He can't come to grips with what he's done, why he's done it. He just knew he wanted to build his own Dutton name. The unfortunate part of this, and with Kevin Costner departing, his assassination in episode 1, within 5 minutes of the new episodes this season, we finally saw the funeral. And seeing the funeral, you really got to see a lot of the emotions from Beth, from Tate, from Casey, but I think Rip really stood out. I think everybody kind of already knew that Rip would be the one to take it hard just because how long he had been there for him. And so I think that is a big thing that was shown in this episode. But then we get to what is the main event. I said it earlier, I don't know why, but the main event is the Beth and the Jamie showdown. Now, we are not going to spoil how that plays out, but just coming from me, I was a little bit shocked with the lengths that Beth went to. In my opinion, I thought it was going to be something kind of quick. I thought it was going to be something where she wanted him to suffer, but then you saw what took place, and so that prediction was wrong. But the key thing throughout this episode is closure. You saw closure all throughout it, and I think the last 25 to 30 minutes was that final bit of closure for everybody. You saw the tribal leaders' closure. You saw the kids get their closure, Beth and Casey. But you also saw in what I feel as if Rip got his closure. And I think that is important as you end a season But like I said, I think it is the end of the series, and it probably is. Now, the one discussion that is coming up a lot in what I have read are spin-offs. Is there going to be spin-off series of the 60s? Is there going to be a spin-off series from where we currently are? And it's really hard to say. I think Sheridan left the door open where we could see two spinoffs, but a part of me also feels that we could see a spinoff that sets another rivalry between the Dutton family, meaning Beth and Casey. Just the way that it was set up, the way that everybody's happy now, even though they're going to be in two different areas, I feel that it could set up a series where they begin to feud. Now, that's probably totally wrong, but that's just my read on it. And finally, we look at my prediction that I made all the way back at part one. My opinion was the ranch was going to be sold to the Sixes. The Sixes were going to help preserve it. And it is safe to say that I was way wrong. I'm not going to spoil what ends up happening, even though it's all going to be on Twitter and Facebook, everywhere else. But I was wrong. And to be honest, I am actually very happy with the way that it ended. I feel like that is the closure going all the way back to the spinoffs. I feel like it is the closure even going back to season 1 and 2 of Yellowstone that this show deserved. But we have concluded season 5 of Yellowstone. Like I said, I believe that is it. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. I thought it was really good. I thought we saw a lot of emotion, which kind of messed with your emotions a little bit. You kind of tear up in some scenes. But drop a comment. Where does the Yellowstone brand go? We kind of have a quote from Casey in it that mentions it. But is Yellowstone over? Are they going to squeeze in a season 6? But we do have 1923 coming out. And we'll see where that goes. But drop a comment below and let me know. Go check out my other Yellowstone videos I have posted. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you all later.